عزیز خدا کنه که جور باشین سرحال باشین و هر دنیا که هستین خوش باشین. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Zara Sahibzada. I'm an Afghan beauty and lifestyle blogger, and I just got home from an incredible mini road trip that I took to Connecticut. I was invited by a friend of mine named Leanne Pye. Leanne Pye is the daughter of a famous architect, and I was really grateful that she invited me to visit the Aldrich Museum in Connecticut, New York. It was roughly like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. For those of you who don't know, I do live in New York City, but nevertheless, it was a really fun trip. I had the honor to meet Hangama Amiri. Hangama John, if you're watching, what an incredible journey you have. You have a bright future ahead of you. I love supporting other girls. I love supporting other female entrepreneurs, women, and especially Afghan women have a near and dear place in my heart. So the minute that I found out that she was another fellow Afghan who was published in the New York Times, I was like, of course, I will definitely go to support her. Leanne also did take me to another museum before we went to visit the Aldrich, and then I came to find out that they had the museum closed completely and just gave us a private tour for myself and Leanne and her guest. So that was really fun. I got to see a little bit of that. So I will insert some of the footage of my trip to Connecticut and all that museum. I have to say, I was never a girl who liked to go to museums, but the more that I go, I'm really like taken in awe of the history and the beauty of the art and how much people take so much pride and joy in really collecting ancient pieces from 100 million years ago. And I think that's something special about it. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Our very first stop in this road trip was Katonah Museum of Art in Connecticut. I was so lucky to be part of this, as they had closed down the entire museum for a private tour for Leanne and her guests. So I was quite lucky and grateful that she had invited me. The whole intention and purpose of this trip was for us to visit Hangama Amiri. This particular exhibit focused on the miniature worlds of Joseph Cornell, Ray Johnson, and Yayoi Kusama, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm not gonna lie, some of the things were just a bit creepy and I did not understand it at all. But I think that's the beauty of museums, that it really just opens your eye from what the world looked like many years ago. So both Johnson and Kusama met in Cornell in the 1960s when they were fast becoming fixtures of New York's downtown art scene. Even in an environment that prized experiment, Johnson and Kusama were usually and radical inventive. They worked painting, collages, as well as emerged from a like installation art, performance, and etc. I totally read that off Google. But here's a fun fact that I kind of found interesting. Cornell University in New York City is known a very prestigious school for the rich folks, but it was funded in 1865, and these two artists went to university in Cornell, New York City. So it was really interesting to see the inception of how the school, the university came into about. But anywhoosies, let's move on to the fun stuff. We officially arrived to the Aldrich Contemporary Museum. Now, this exhibit featured an Afghan artist named Hangama Amiri. Hangama Amiri یک دختر افغان خود ماست که بسیار عکسای مقبول جور میکنه از تکه. She combines painting and printmaking techniques with textiles, weaving together stories based on her memories of her homeland and the diasporic experience. So, as an Afghan American who was also published in the New York Times, and meet another fellow Afghan who was published in the New York Times and get to know her story was truly magical, if I do say so, and really breathtaking. The images in her colorful fabric wall hangings are drawn from the past, partly based on her memories of being a young child in Kabul before her family fled and became refugees for almost a decade. There are also visions of a better future for women in her native country when she had visited Afghanistan in 2010 and 2012. The one thing I loved about Amiri is that she was not afraid to take up this space. Several of her pieces in the show are 10 feet wide, with one of the textiles measuring up to 26 feet wide, enveloping the viewer with a sense of almost being in Kabul. Now, this one, her largest work, is Bazaar, a colorful landscape of shops, signs, and awnings made from fabrics in various textures and sheens. From sari textile to chiffon and suede, Amiri truly strings cables among the works to give the feel of an envelope wire crowding a real-life bazaar. So it's really taking the initiative of making you feel like, what's it like being in Afghanistan? It is no secret that since the Taliban invasion, life for a woman in Afghanistan is not as easy or quite in the dark. So just seeing her vision come to life and what it, inshallah, can look like, whether it be a beauty salon, a girl being empowered to get education. But overall, I was so proud to see another female Afghan succeed and be successful here in the States. You know, it's no easy. We all have stories and chapters to share, but supporting another Afghan female and seeing her own an entire space in the museum from floor to ceiling is quite something that I think is applaudable. And there is Hangama doing her magic, just really sharing her vision and storytelling, what her inspiration was and what the intention for the art and the message was. So it was a pleasure meeting her. If you guys haven't followed her yet, definitely give her a follow on Instagram, follow and read her New York Times article. خلاص عزیز خدا کنه که خسته نشده باشین خدا کنه که ویدیو خوش کرده باشین اگر خوش کرده حتما لایک کنین سابسکرایب کنین چون که من به شما هر هفته یک ویدیو ندارم and there it is us and me and Hangama. Bye.